All right, Matt. What's up, Matt? Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming here. It's your first time in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you here. So, let's get right into it. You are the face of our first responders chapter of the GV or the Grateful Veteran, and it all really started with you. And it's been a great journey for me for the last couple of years working alongside of you, not only in the Grateful Veteran, but also we worked together for a little while at back then Vatican. And it's been a great pleasure to get to know you as a person. Uh, Getting to know your personal story has been quite enlifting for me, and maybe be cool if you can share a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I have to say likewise. It's been a pleasure to work with you and meet you and know you and yeah. So I was a firefighter for roughly 9 years. Came out of it, was on disability for 2 years. Cannabis kind of changed my life, and
So you just kind of hopped into firefighting. How did that get started?
firefighting was a kind of a family thing. So I kind of follow in the footsteps of my dad and uncles, and
So it's a big part of your life.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So you were about to talk about cannabis. Tell me a little bit about cannabis and your firefighting days. How was that? What's the culture around cannabis in the firefighting community?
I mean, it's then versus now. Then it was an illegal drug. Definitely in the drug policy against any of the stuff you could take. So that it stopped there. Now it's becoming more curious of this be helpful to first responders on the job.
There has been a lot of change around just that in Florida, but everywhere, really. Just the thought process behind cannabis and what it can do for people, right? So, what did it do for you?
Cannabis changed my life. Coming out of the fire department, I was on disability, like I was saying. I came off of insurance, so I had to come off of everything I was prescribed for, everything I was facing. And my doctor suggested getting my medical card, and it helped me the whole time I was on disability and helped me come off everything I was pretty much addicted to.
Yeah, that seems to be the sentiment. A lot of us veterans as well seem to have been able to slowly but surely, and maybe not all together, but at least a few, and even one is better than none, to get off some of these hard pharmaceuticals that the VA does on the regular. I used to say they love to give, but it's practice. It's just something what's been going on forever and ever. After your firefighting career, you did some odd jobs, and then you tell me how you ended up in the cannabis community. How did you end up here?
So I worked in a paint store, worked for a handyman part time. His daughter worked in the cannabis industry. Back then it was Vitacan. But they were hiring for a delivery driver. Cannabis helped me tremendously, and it was a field I thought I wanted to go into and be a part of that. And started on delivery, worked my way behind the counter all the way up to general manager.
And how was it between your now that you're fully in the cannabis community and you're still and will always be part of the firefighting community, the first responders community? How was it with some of your old peers that saw you get better, that saw you be a different person, and you started telling them how a lot of that has to do with your relationship with cannabis? How did that go for you?
Well, a lot of my closer friends and even not closer friends saw the change it made in my life, my family too. But my best friend, who was my battalion chief, his name's Chad. He always said I was the poster child for cannabis. But yeah, no, it made me change my life completely. I was jacked up all the time, just
Yeah,
you know.
definitely understand that. So tell me a little bit about the products that you got here in front of you. What we got going on?
So when it comes to medical marijuana, cannabis in general, you got your vaping or inhalation, flower and vapes. Those have an immediate effect. So if you need relief, anxiety or pain, you could hit those 3 second pull and get some relief. It's titrate to effect. So
So tell me about the tinctures there.
Oh, all right. So we have a nano tincture. A nano tincture is fast acting, so immediate effects, so you don't have to worry about smoking or anything like that. Also, people like this as an alternative to alcohol, so growing very popular.
Nice.
This one here is more complex. It's a RSO 1-to-1 tincture. RSO stands for Rick Simpson Oil. That was the founder of it. He figured out that you could attack and shrink tumors and kill cancer cells with a specific regimen that he recommends. Doctors recommend it for patients that are on cancer or that have cancer to add with whatever regimen they're doing to help benefit them.
Great. Then tell me some more about that tincture then. How does that work?
So it is a sublingual tincture. It's a 1-to-1 as well, like I was saying. 1-to-1 meaning 1 part THC to 1 part CBD. Anytime you take a ratio of CBD with CBD being an equal part or higher part in the ratio, it's going to control the effects of the THC. So, people think cannabis, it's always going to be high, right? That's not the case. With a ratio of a 1-to-1 or anything higher of the CBD, it will control the THC. It is probably one of the most medicinal ratios because of the working of the CBD and the THC. It is a ratio product. There is a story of a girl named Charlotte Figge from Colorado. She had a severe epilepsy disorder, and this was back in 2016, maybe before that, right when cannabis was like being talked about. So they broke her epilepsy disorder. So with a ratio product such as this, it was a 20-to-1 to be exact.
That's pretty interesting, man. There's like anything else, there's some stuff we know and there's a lot of stuff we don't know, right? And I'm just happy and grateful that I have the opportunity to be able to use these products that maybe, back in the day, like people like to say, that weren't really available. Tinctures and vapes and nanos, right? These are all new for most of us. A lot of people, when they think cannabis, automatically is flower,
Right.
right? Yeah, herbs and medicine. Just calling it medicine is something new, right?
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
So having all these new types of alternative methods of using it sometimes could be overwhelming, man, and that's just the truth. A lot of people get confused. They feel like maybe it doesn't work. Some of them work longer than others. How is this different than the flower, right? Like, how long does it last?
So anything you ingest is going to have a longer duration. Edibles could be, up to 8 hours. A sublingual is going to be, it's going to absorb a little bit through under your tongue sublingually, but when you wash the rest down, it's going to take up to 30 minutes to have an impact on you.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing the information on these products, man. Actually, thank you for just taking the time of, coming from behind the scenes per se, right? And not only sharing a little bit about your personal life, but a lot about what now is something that is your life, right? Cannabis, medicine, people, first responders,
Mental health.
mental health is something that's big for you. And I do appreciate, I thank you for who you are and what you do. Your energy is contagious, man. I know you've made me work harder, and I appreciate that. So thanks, brother. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation, man.
If you want to learn more about cannabis or, give back, help out veterans, go to our website, thegratefulveteran.com. You can go on planet13.com to learn more about cannabis. You can stop by any location or stop by any of the cannabis doctors. There's actually doctors in these offices that know about cannabis.
Yeah, for sure. I've had some pretty good discussions with doctors, because we don't, like I said, there's things we don't know. And sometimes it's good to learn about your medicine. I know I never used to. I would just only read the symptoms, right? Like what happens when you take this pill? What happens? I never really looked into what made it and how it works in the human body. I just kind of took somebody's word for it. But with cannabis, because I have an interest in it, I really want to learn about it, man. So some of these combos with these doctors, yeah, for sure. They're definitely cool. And I appreciate them just like I appreciate this conversation.
Yeah.
Again, man, thank you. And looking forward to the next one.
Yes, then
My brother, take it easy.
peace.
Peace.